Hello everybody, happy Wednesday evening live tutorial stream. That means our streaming week has begun here at twitch.tv/beading and we have a fun tutorial for you tonight. We have the Amphora pendant, which was requested when I was selling the Amphora beads that we do something cool with them. So here is something cool that you can do with them now. Hi Lori. Also hi Good Vibes and Julie. But yeah, also Good Vibes apparently has been unwell. Oh, no. So
may I show Linda the... Thank you.
I don't know where
where the sample?
I took it home to photograph it.
Oh.
Check in there or in...
I'll show
there.
it next week.
Well, no, just hand it to me.
No, it's cool. It's no, go ahead.
Everyone,
tutorial.
I know. It's a skull corvus that is waiting for you to buy it. Just saying.
David Bowie skull.
It is an awesome skull.
It is an awesome skull. You're right.
And it is needing of a home that is not my neck.
We believe that. Obviously.
Can you hand me my other bag?
Oh, honey, don't stop what you're
Yeah,
doing just for that.
Totally fine. We'll
Yeah, next week
next
is fine.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, next week is
But
fine.
I made the thing. I did the thing.
No, we understand. We believe you.
It's okay.
We're proud of you. I
And
saw it.
there's
It's awesome.
there's a chance it might be in there though.
Well, yes. So we can find that out after your tutorial. Yeah. I've already derailed you.
You're not being helpful.
Okay.
Well, I'm being helpful by reading you.
Okay, fine. You're just making me do it myself.
Oh goodness.
So this is me trying to find my class samples that I made and misplaced. So everyone is just gonna have to deal with me rummaging in my life for a bit. Okay, so Good Vibes. Like, what up with the pneumonia? No, that's not okay. No, nobody likes pneumonia. Pneumonia is bad, so please don't with the pneumonia. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay, so no, it is actually not here. It's probably at home.
Is that discount?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
Because I gave Madeline credit in exactly that amount.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now I have made a giant mess of everything and still not found the thing I'm trying to find. But I have a cord that's wrapped around my chair leg.
Well, I mean,
So,
as you should.
no! That's not good. It's the power cord to the computer.
Oh, okay, no.
So, no.
Do you need assistance?
No, I think I got it.
Tuck your earlobe if you need rescuing.
Oh my gosh. So Good Vibes, are you in hospital now or are you just planning on going? Either way, we hope that you feel better very soon. Okay, so I do not have a sample with me for tonight's class because I have no freaking clue where I put it. It's probably on my desk at home, but we are going to be doing a pendant with this bead. So this bead, as you may recall, was on one of our online sales fairly recently. It's one of our new pieces, so I'm going to show you a fun, cool pendant that you can do with this. Now, I am cheating a little bit on tutorials this week because both of our tutorials this week require a torch. So, last week we had 0 torch tutorials. This week we have 2 torch tutorials. So, like I said, oh, hey Heather, should show Linda these. I know she's seen them, but she should see them again. So we got 2 torch tutorials this week. So this is the first one, and Friday is going to be the second one. So what do we need for this evening's tutorial? You're going to need 24 gauge. 2 torch reels. Alright, we're going to need some 24 gauge sheet metal. I'm using bronze tonight. We are going to need 1 center drilled amphora shaped bead. You're going to need some 18 or 20 gauge wire. You're going to need some chain and probably a clasp. And you are going to need one 8mm round bead, which I'm going to have to go grab when I need it because I didn't grab one before the tutorial. So,
She wants you to buy those sapphires. She needs to behave herself.
what? I refuse to behave myself, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I shall not. I've just been told to behave myself, y'all. I mean, come on.
She's being
That's not the way that this works. Okay, so
Actually, they would be really pretty with this.
what I'm gonna do first is, okay, so I've got my torch. I'm gonna set that to the side. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually drill. So as far as tools for tonight's tutorial, you're gonna need your basic pliers, round nose, chain nose, wire cutters. You're also going to need torch and tweezers, something to hold your hot stuff so that you don't burn yourself. Obviously, you're gonna need a Dremel or a flex shaft. You're gonna need a number 56 drill bit or the approximate size thereof. There it is. And you are also going to need a torch.
Linda says, "Get thee away from me, John Lovitz."
Fine. I am a rebel, good vibes. Like I'm not, rebel presenting, but I am a very contrary beast, kind of like unto a goat. Just saying. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, okay, so everybody, please learn from my mistakes. So what I'm going to do for this class is I'm going to make 2 brass bead caps that will cup my little amphora. So one for the bottom, one for the top. And I am going to tell you from my own experience that if you cut out the circles and then dap them into hemispheres and then try and drill them, what's going to happen is their stupid asses are going to spin around and they're going to cut slices in your index finger and your thumb.
No.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because it's happened to me multiple times because I'm just that dumb. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to drill the metal first, then we're going to cut it, then we're going to dap it, and this way hopefully we can avoid me bleeding on stream, which is always the goal.
Oh.
No blood on stream.
No blood, no foul.
I mean, somebody really needs to send me a X amount of days without an incident sign.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about how this morning I picked up the Pyrex bowl of butter that had been in a 350-degree oven with my bare hands.
That's not good. No oven's making hot, right?
I mean, yes, it melted the butter, but apparently that was where my brain stopped.
The glass wasn't melted, so.
Yeah, well, okay, to be fair, my oven doesn't go hot enough to melt Pyrex.
That's good.
Most people's don't. Does your oven go hot enough to melt Pyrex? Because, wow.
Maybe that's why Carol doesn't cook. She already melted all the
reason.
pots.
Okay, so I'm just switching out the bit in my Dremel to my number 56.
Yeah, I've melted all my bowls. Yeah, okay. All my
All over
cookware
now.
has been destroyed, so I can't cook anymore.
That's my excuse.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. That's right.
So again, this is a number 56 drill bit. You can use a smaller drill bit if you want. Hi, Keiko! You just need to make sure that the hole you make is big enough to accommodate the wire that you're using. So if it's 18 gauge, it needs to be a little bit bigger than if it's 20 gauge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my camera. Alright, so I am going to drill in my sheet metal 2 holes, and I'm actually going to attempt to Allison proof this. Everyone, please withhold your laughter. By making 2 dots. I'm going to drill the holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that the dots are in a place where I have enough metal around them that when I put them in the disc cutter I could actually get a full disc. So now that I've got that, I'm going to start my Dremel. And I'm just going to drill these 2 holes. So just take my drill and okay, so if I wanted an easier job at this, I could have marked these and with a centering punch, but I'm too lazy. Also, the good thing about this is that you can make this scratched up part. Oh goodness, the inside. Okay, I feel like this is a very dull drill bit. Yeah, that's not a noise you want to hear. Okay, so let's take just a hot second to talk about drill bits. So, if your drill bit is black at the tip, like this one is, that's a good sign that it is burned out, meaning it is completely dull at the tip. What that's going to do is it's going to result in a lot of skipping around. Like, see all these scratches that I just made on here? Once again, it doesn't really bother me because I can make this the inside of my cap, but that's an indicator that your drill bit is dull. And then also, if you're just seated in the hole and pressing down, it's not doing anything except making the metal hot, that's another good indicator that your drill bit is ready for the trash can. So let us see if I have another drill bit. I might have to go grab one from my flux shaft area. Okay, well this one's bigger, but it'll work. So this is actually a 52, and it's stuck in there. Okay. Be right back. Okay, so I have a fresh drill bit, and we're going to load that into my Dremel. Oh, well, I feel like that's a blessing and a curse, Keiko, right? Because you're forced to, you know, be off for the evening, which isn't a terrible thing, but if you were hoping for some, you know, overtime, then you're screwed. Okay, so new drill bit is in there, and let's try this again, hopefully with more success. Alright, Corvus, I see your question. I'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so yeah, that's not exactly what you want. Well, it was okay, but I didn't have it tightly enough in the Dremel, so that's what we wound up with. So yeah, so this is what happens when your drill bit is not actually fully seated in your Dremel.
I see. We did some etching.
So Corvus, that's normal. You want to make sure if you're trying to drill a stone that number one, you make sure that your bit is lubricated. So you've got linseed oil or burr life or something on your bit, because that will help the smoking. And then you also want to make sure that you have the thing you're trying to drill in a water bath, or you're at the very least sluicing it down with water pretty frequently, because otherwise, again, it will start smoking. So lubrication and a water bath. And I'm just going to leave that here. Alright, so we're going to try an EBITDA. Oh, that's a bummer, Keiko. Okay, let me drill the second one. So, congratulations me. I have two holes, which is what I wanted. That's funny, Julie.
There's so many things. Yes.
Okay, and this that I'm drilling on is just a random piece of wood. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my disc cutter. Everyone knows how much I love my disc cutter.
It's awesome.
And my big ass brass hammer, which I also love. Now we're going to make some pounding noises. So, this size here is going to be the best to make cups for my Amphora. So what I'm going to do is, my goal is to take each of these holes that I drilled and make a circular piece out of them with the hole in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my disc cutter, I'm going to use this hole, and I'm going to center up as much as I can that hole in my disc cutter, and then I'm gonna crank it down. That's not centered at all. There we go. Okay, so now I have my hole centered in my disc cutter. Now I'm going to find the appropriate size punch for that, which is this one. That's going to go right in there, and then I'm going to whack the crap out of it with my big brass hammer. And there we go. We have one disc with a hole in it. Now I'm going to do the same with my other hole. Okay, no electrocuting yourselves. Not allowed.
Frowned upon.
It is frowned upon. We say no. Beading Dream Stream says no electrocuting. Alright, so I've got that ready to go, and alright, there we go. So I've got two discs with holes. No, I don't think she did either, but I just felt like I needed to take the opportunity to just tell everyone that they should not electrocute themselves, so that the Beading Dream stream can in no way be construed as endorsing self-electrocution.
We are not pro-electrocution.
We are not pro-electrocution, either accidental or on purpose. We really don't care. Well, same, Keiko. Though that was yesterday. Mostly. Okay, so now we're going to take these and we're going to dap them, meaning we're going to curve them. So remember that the weird etchy side, see that one with all the scratches, that's going to be the inside. And so we're going to find a depression in our dapping block that it will drop into, and then we're going to find the punch that goes with that depression. So when you're choosing a dapping punch that goes with a depression in your dapping block, you want to make sure it drops all the way in there and does not catch on the edges at all. If it catches on the edges at all, that's a good way to ruin your dapping punch, and you need to look for a smaller punch. So now I'm just going to hold that in there, and I'm going to tap it with my hammer. And that is going to give me a lovely curved bead cap. And then if I so choose, I can find another depression in my dapping punch that's a little bit smaller. I can grab, or in my dapping block, I can grab a smaller dapping punch. I can actually curve that a little bit more. Again, we just want to make sure that that punch will drop right in that hole without catching the edge, which this one will. And that way I can get a little bit more of a dome on that. And then we're going to repeat for our second one. Oh, Keiko. Been there, done that. Like, for real, yo. Okay, so there is phase 1. And here is phase 2. Alright, so these are my 2 dapped bead caps. So now I can put away my dapping stuff. Alright, and the last thing that we're going to do is the small part of this tutorial that involves a torch. So, that means we're going to grab our wire. And this again is my 18 gauge wire, so I'm going to find the end. And I'm just going to cut myself off about 6 inches or so. I'm going to do a ball head pin, so if you have a little more, it's not a bad idea because that ball head pin is going to take up some length. And I'm going to make sure that I have a tweezers with which to hold it so that I'm not getting fire near my hands. And since the igniter on my torch, so I've got my torch, and I'm just going to turn the gas on, and since the ignition on my torch is broken, I'm just going to go ahead and light it with a lighter. There we go. Try not to melt any of my camera equipment. So there's my torch, and all I'm going to do is take my, oh no, okay, sorry, melty things. So many melty things. I'm going to drop my wire into my torch flame, and I'm just going to let it ball up. So you can see it getting red, and so the next thing that should happen is it should start to melt and create a ball. There we go, yes. Okay, so see it balling up? So that ball is just going to kind of creep up my wire, and what I'm going to end up with is this. So this is a ball head pin made out of bronze wire. Now, this needs to cool, so if I had some quench water available, which of course I don't because I never remember to bring quench water out here, I could just drop it in that, it would quench, it would be ready to touch immediately. Again, since I did not remember to bring that out here, I'm just going to hold it for a minute or so until it cools down, and then I can start putting this pendant together. Whilst I am waiting for this to cool, I'm going to go ahead and grab an 8mm bead. So I'm going to set this on top of a non-flammable, non-conductive thing to cool, and I'll be right back. Cool and tool are very similar words. Just saying. I could put it on my dapping block, absolutely, except my dapping block I already put over there. But it's good to go now. Cool enough to touch. So now we're going to go ahead and assemble our pendant. So we're going to start with one of our dapped cups, and that's going to go on the bottom. And we just want to make sure, of course, that we didn't make that hole too large. We don't want it to fall off of our pin. And then I'm going to put on my Amphora bead. And then this is kind of a personal preference. you can put your next cap on either way. So you can put it on facing down, so it caps your Amphora bead, or facing up, so it caps your 8mm bead. So your options are this, and then your 8mm bead on top, so it looks like that. Or you can do it, and this is the way that the photo for the class online was done, is you could do it this way as well. You can go ahead and go up like that, and then drop your 8mm bead on top of that, like so. And so that is the way that I think I am going to choose to do it this evening, but you can really pick either one. It is 100% your choice. You could even, if you wanted to, make another one of these that would cap here, so you would have two back to back. Again, either one is totally valid. Now that you know how to make those little caps, you can make as many of them as you want to. So now I'm just going to secure this onto my chain with a basic wire wrap loop. Now if you wanted to do this as a pendant that you could just slide on and off chain, you can also do that with a basic wire wrap loop. It would just need to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to place them on my wire so that they are touching the top of my 8mm bead. And then I'm going to create a basic wire wrap loop. So we're going to go away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate underneath. That makes our lady with a scarf. Okay, so that is our lady looking like if she were in a convertible, zooming along with a long scarf trailing out behind her. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our chain and we're going to grab the end of this scarf and we are going to thread the ends of our chain both onto this scarf. Like so. And then we're going to bring them around and up into our loop. And then we're going to grab our chain nose, which are our flat ones, hold across that loop, and we're going to wrap. And we're going to wrap all the way down until we hit our bead. Like so. We're going to go ahead and trim that. And then this end that's kind of sticking out here, we want to take that. We just want to press it down. Oh, wait. Why are y'all talking about jammies? That's just mean. Mean, mean, mean. I mean, I am all about the jammies. For sure, yo. Trust me. Anytime that you see me streaming from home, I 100% guarantee you that anything from the waist down is definitely jammy pants. But if I'm at the store, it's probably not. It's probably real clothes, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Despite the impact of the pandemic, jammies have not become acceptable everyday wear. Though there was a set on Temu that I was like, those are sweet. Like, those are like high fashion jammies. And I'm like, I wonder if I could get away with that. And then I'm like, no, girl, you don't have enough chutzpah for that. But there are people who do. Just saying. And Talifat thinks that I should just bring jammies to the store. No, because, see, here's the problem with bringing jammies to the store, Talifat, is if I am streaming in my jammies, then when the stream is done, I'm just going to want to go to sleep, which means I'm going to wind up sleeping on the floor at Beading Dreams. And both Heather and I can tell you from experience that the floor at Beading Dreams is not very comfortable because it is It is a thin layer of crappy carpet over concrete, and I have slept on it fairly recently, and I can tell you, just suck it up, put on your big girl panties, go home, sleep in your bed. 100% better. Just saying. So these are reasons why I should not bring jammies to Beading Dreams, unless we are doing a 24-hour lock-in stream, which if Talifat is coming to visit, is totally a possibility, and at some point we will all need to sleep during that, so that might be an exception. But no, I try to sleep here as little as possible, because no comfy sleeping surfaces. The one comfy sleeping surface we had, my mother insisted that we get rid of. Okay, so I've got this on my chain. So as far as finishing it off, I'm just going to split it in half at the back and add a clasp. So there's my chain, and I'm just going to split it at the center back. This is a soldered chain, so I'm using my wire cutter. If it's a non-soldered chain, you can of course just use your pliers to pry apart the link, but we're just going to snip that. And then this is just a basic hook clasp that has a self loop, so we're going to open that like so, and we are going to drop that onto my clasp, and then I'm going to close it up. Make sure that you close it up so that there's no space between those, and then you can either put a larger ring on this end, or we are lucky in this particular instance that the clasp will just clasp right into that. Also, since this is a handmade clasp, I do want to take just a minute, do a little bit of filing on the end just to make it not so scratchy. There we go. Julie. Oh my gosh. Yay, beaded octopus. So yeah, so this is your basic Amphora pendant. So these caps are really fun to know how to make, because you can use them to just add that extra little bit of pop to a piece. Again, they're not that difficult to make as long as you have the tools, aka a disc cutter and a drill. But there we go. That is our Amphora pendant. Also, if you don't have a torch, you can use a head pin for this instead of making your own, but you do need to make sure that the head pin has a big enough head that it doesn't go through your cap. And that's it, y'all. That was a pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy tutorial. So we're gonna do another fire and hammering one on Friday. That's gonna be the crescent moon necklace. It's gonna be firing, hammering, and wire wrapping, so that one's gonna be more involved. This one was the easier one. Yay for clearance jammies. One of my favorite pairs of jammy pants. I paid $2.98 for at Walmart. They are bell bottom and crazy pattern and so comfortable. So there's our Amphora necklace, pendant. Also, this would be, if you had two of them, would be a really kick-ass earring. I could definitely see this. Also, this is another thing, if you don't have a torch, you don't have to, especially if you're doing an earring, you could turn this into a loop down here and then hang some other things from it. So that would be a really cool earring. So that is the Amphora pendant for this evening. We will be back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream, about 45 minutes with the podcast, continuing our crazy wild gemstone legends and stories. We are going to be casting about the Koh-i-Noor diamond, which is a diamond that is in the British crown jewels but has a lot of controversy surrounding it and a really, really interesting history, kind of murky, so there's that whole like kind of legend, kind of fact thing going on, which is really fun. So remember that Twitch does not always show you the notification for the second no more bejeweled ground beef, Keiko. We're not talking about a whole crown here, we're just talking about one diamond. Only one. It's only 21 grams. That's a lot, actually.
Only.
But it's not 2 pounds of jeweled ground beef, is what I'm saying here. So, don't forget that Twitch and Discord do not always notify you about our second stream. So, set your timers for 45 minutes from now at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we will be on, Heather and myself, to discuss the Kohinoor diamond and all of its crazy wild history, plus the controversy that surrounds it in the present day. So everyone, take a minute, take a break, get a food, get a beverage. Hi, Sophia! Come back in 45 minutes and see us. We're going to be talking about diamonds. So get a snack, get a beverage. Don't fall asleep. That's more to me than you. And we'll see you back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream at 7:30. Okay, bye.